Hi, it's Keisha, the Habits Hypnotist, and we are here to do a video on the power of your mind. So if you haven't met me yet, again, my name's Keisha. I'm a certified consulting hypnotist with New World Mind and Spirit, and I specialize in how to change recurring habits, addictive behaviors to get you back on track so that you can be proud of your life and living fully. And today I actually wanted to do a video on something that happened to me that was odd and strange, and also reminding me of something that I already know that I kind of moved away from and what we can learn from that. So I recently was kind of working on a problem and I wasn't sure how to move forward with it. And I kind of was thinking about if I should kind of move against something that someone thought that I should do. And I kind of was struggling with that. And I couldn't really make up my mind, was thinking about it. And I went to bed and I had a dream. And this was an odd dream. I don't always remember my dreams, but I did. And when I woke up the following morning, and I had an odd dream where there was a kitchen. There was food around in this kitchen. There were a couple people in the kitchen. There was like a stream out back. And also in this kitchen with a couple other people that I didn't really know was Daniel Radcliffe. And he was just hanging out, having a conversation. And I'm not a huge fan of Daniel Radcliffe. I think he's actually a great actor. He's appeared in a lot of things. If you aren't sure who Daniel Radcliffe is, he is of course best known. His main role was as Harry Potter in the Harry Potter film series, and he has of course gone on to do a whole lot of other things, a lot of very exciting roles. I've seen him in a lot of awesome things. He was in The Woman in Black, which is a really good creepy movie. He was in a movie called Jungle that I watched. It also was very suspenseful, very good, apparently based on a true story, a survivalist movie. He also was in a whole bunch of other things, anything from plays to offbeat films. He's in some films I haven't seen that I would like to see, and he's doing his thing. And I have to say, the times that I've ever thought about Daniel Radcliffe have been pretty much non-existent. Even when I think of celebrities, that he doesn't really come to mind. So it was interesting that he showed up in my dream. And actually we had a conversation, and I remember specifically it was him because in the dream I remember saying, wow, hey, it's Daniel Radcliffe. How cool. I can't wait to tell people about this. Of course, not realizing I was dreaming. I wasn't lucid in the dream. I thought it was happening in real life. So, long story short, so basically I wake up in the morning and I remember this dream, and I remember him being in the dream, and I was like, okay, that's strange. So then I jump on Instagram. And of course, I'm thinking about this problem. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I'm scrolling through Instagram and I'm looking on a hashtag that I follow, and I come across a picture of Daniel Radcliffe, right? And there's a little quote, on the Instagram profile who's posted this has picked a quote to pair with the picture, and they put a quote on there. And I actually think this quote made me laugh. I thought it was very true. And so here is Daniel Radcliffe, and the quote says, I used to care what people thought about me until one day I tried to pay my bills with their opinions. And that made me laugh, but it also, I was like, oh shit, that's incredible advice. It changed the way I was thinking, and it caused me to absolutely change what I was doing, and it solved my problem. It flipped the way I was thinking about it and solved my issue. So Daniel Radcliffe solved my problem through the power of dreams. And I found that so bizarre. What are the chances? How strange that is. But it also got me thinking about how that could be. How did this happen? And of course, you can take it through the spiritual, the whole universe the universe has a plan, the universe is communicating through you sort of feature. And you can take it that way and say, well, obviously the universe planted this in my dream so that I would find this exact message that would be exactly what I need to know so I can make the right choice. I would say you're not wrong if that's the way you think, because I also am a spiritually minded person. I get it. But there also is a completely rational explanation for this as well. Obviously, what I would argue is that somewhere I subconsciously or unconsciously noticed an image or a video of Daniel Radcliffe. And it's likely that this has happened when I was going to sleep. I have been in the habit of watching movies, unfortunately recently, before I go off to sleep. Now, I know the power of our minds. So this actually has been more of a slip in habit. I used to listen to, audiobooks or hypnotic suggestions that are empowering to fall asleep to. But recently I kind of been getting lazy with it and telling myself, oh, I won't fall asleep. I'm just going to watch this movie. The next thing you know, it's morning and apparently the movie's still going or YouTube's still going. And I've been doing this recently, and I feel like this is where the image of all people, Daniel Radcliffe may have ended up being fed into my mind, either in an advertisement or a commercial or something he's in, and it somehow ended up in my head. And this brings us to the subject of this video, which is the power of what you are putting into your mind. Because the point of this whole story is this: that your mind, your subconscious mind in particular, is constantly recording, constantly absorbing information. So you should use that and be mindful of that and use it to your benefit and to your greatest good. So I want you to be conscious of, like me, what are you falling asleep to? Now, last time we did a short video on Hypnotic, which is that Netflix film that came out, and we pretty much talked about how it was complete nonsense. There's pretty much just not really making sense. It's absolutely just imagination and Hollywood writing going crazy. However, it is based on fact. The fact that your subconscious, that part of your mind that is receptive, that is passive, that is constantly recording, constantly absorbing information, is always on. And it's always picking up information for it to use and retain, so that it hopes that there's something there that it can remember to help you survive. Because of that, a lot of us are constantly absorbing information that in the end is actually causing disruption. It's actually programming us for habits and behaviors that we don't want. And a lot of this stuff is getting picked up subconsciously or unconsciously. In other words, we're not even aware that it's happening. Whenever you go to sleep at night, you pass through the lowered states of consciousness known as alpha and theta. And in these lowered states, you're more susceptible to picking up suggestive materials. That's why we use that state as hypnotists. And when you are about to go to sleep at night is a perfect time to really be taking into account suggestions. Now, I'm not here to say that if you fall asleep to scary movies or to crazy scenes or to sex scenes, that you're going to hypnotize yourself to go crazy and start acting out and doing all these things. Obviously, we talked about that last week. That's not going to happen. However, what could happen is over time, you could start to experience heightened states of anxiety. You could start to experience heightened states of conflicted beliefs about things over time. And on the flip side of that, if you take use of that same time when you're going to bed to actually listen to something that is going to program you for success, such as changing habits, that is a great and fertile time to make subtle but big shifts. So I know this from experience. Before I was a hypnotist, I was also a hypnosis client and also a user and a student. And one thing that changed my life around was knowing that if I did fall asleep to uplifting audiobooks or hypnotic suggestions, I noticed that my challenges when I woke up the next day started to become easier. I started to feel better about what I was trying to achieve in my life. And I noticed different ideas suddenly coming in my head, which I knew were my own ideas, but it's as though a good and helpful friend was kind of suggesting things to me, and I was accepting them and making changes accordingly. So I really want you to be aware of, number one, how are you using that time before you go to bed? What are you listening to? It will, again, consider that you can actually make great changes if you're working on yourself during this time. So instead of falling asleep to Netflix or YouTube or a Daniel Radcliffe movie, use that time to listen to something that is actually going to instruct you and help you to achieve your goal. It can only make your changes easier and faster. Okay? So, thank you so much for this short video, and definitely reach out to me. Make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. My Instagram is at New World Mind and Spirit, and I'm also on Facebook. The Facebook page is New World Mind and Spirit as well. And make sure you sign up for our free newsletter, get your free gift. You can find that at www.newworldcoaching.org/signup. So thank you so much, and reach out to me if you have any questions about how hypnosis can help you to change your habits, and we will be in touch. Enjoy the rest of your evenings, hopefully listening to something very uplifting and empowering, and we will see you next time. And remember, to change your life, you must first change yourself. Take care, be safe, and be well.